Hello. Sorry it's been so long, but I'm back. I wanted to say I am so excited to find out that I actually have a few followers I didn't realize from YouTube. And just FYI for anyone watching this, uh, I'm not the most computer savvy person in the world. So what I did was I figured out how to set up my YouTube account and post these videos to YouTube. And because that was the only way I could figure out how to get it onto my blog. So I think some of you are watching from my YouTube page, which is fine, and others watch on my actual blog, which is Amy dash or hyphen, whatever you want to call it, singlestep.blogspot.com. The only reason I'm saying that, I don't care wherever you watch them, but occasionally, like last week on Wednesday, I didn't post a video about my weight. I just typed it out because it was not a good weigh-in and I was in a bad mood, and so I just, here's my weigh-in, whatever. So if you wanted to go ahead and look on the blog, you might get a little more information there, but the videos obviously are going to be in both places. And speaking of, if you missed that, my weigh-in last week was 262. So much I could say, but I'll just leave it at this. It's a new day. It's a new week. I'm moving forward, partly because I don't think I can move back much more. But anyway, okay, so before I go on to the couple things that I wanted to talk about today, I want to apologize for my appearance. I've been doing yard work today, and it's very hot outside, so I don't look the best. And normally I don't even really think about it, but now that I know I have a few more viewers, some of whom I've never even met, I don't know, now I feel a little self-conscious. Too late for that, I guess. Okay, I had to write down on my phone, type on my phone what I wanted to talk about. And really there's just two things, but I didn't want to forget. First thing is I'll tell you this funny story. My friend Amanda that watches, I told her this the other day, and she laughed pretty hard, apparently thought it was very funny. So I thought, sometimes when you're struggling with weight loss and you have a bad week or a bad month or whatever, sometimes it's good to just laugh and know that you're not the only one who struggles, and you're not the only one who has those kinds of days or weeks. So the story is, Friday night, I was getting ready to go to the grocery store. Yes, I lead quite the exciting life. I was getting ready to go to the grocery store with my roommate, and it was about 8:30 or so. Well, here's the thing. When you're a single woman in her 30s, I don't know, even the grocery store is like possible place to meet men. I can't believe I just said that out loud, but it's true. And so even though it was Friday night, almost 9 o'clock, I didn't really care what I looked like, but sort of I did. You know that feeling? Like, I want to look casual, not like I got dressed up to go to the grocery store on a Friday night, but I still want to look decent enough that if I were to see some cute guy, I wouldn't be totally mortified, okay? Hopefully you understand that, where those two meet. So I had put on some jeans and flip-flops, and I put on a t-shirt. The first couple, I was like, oh, these t-shirts, they're shrinking, they're too tight. And because I had been having one of those weeks, I mean, after a weigh-in like that, you can imagine, I had been having one of those weeks where I just felt huge. Friday night in particular, I felt the size of my house. And so I kept putting on different t-shirts. Finally I decided, you know what, I can't do it. I can't wear a t-shirt because it was just clinging to my rolls and ugh. So I decided that I'm going to put a hoodie over it. Well, the only really hoodie that I have that I used to wear all the time, the zipper broke. So my roommate's getting dressed and I'm like, hey, can I borrow a hoodie? And she's like, yeah, they're out there on the hooks. So I go to our door, by our door where the hooks are, and I grab the purple hoodie first. And I put the purple hoodie on and I zip it up about part way, and I go and I look in the mirror and I'm like, well, that didn't help one bit. It just made me look bigger. It didn't, in my mind it was going to hide the way the t-shirt was clinging to me. No, it just clung along with the t-shirt. So I went and I took the purple hoodie off and I put it back on the hook and I grabbed the black hoodie. And so I go and I'm trying to put my arm into the black hoodie, and I'm going, our full-length mirror's at the end of our hallway. And so I'm going to look in the full-length mirror. Well, my roommate comes out of her room and she's like, she knew the kind of night I was having. And she was like, why are you putting on the black one? That's my smallest one. She was like, you need to put on the purple one. That's the big one. She did not know I had already tried on the purple one, of course. And you can imagine what that did to my spirits. I mean, it's like one of those I just want to throw in the towel moments. Hindsight, I recognize the humor in that. But anyway, thought I would share that for what it's worth. I'm sure you can identify. I did end up wearing the purple hoodie, just for the record. I did not, however, end up meeting Mr. Wright while I was at the grocery store, in case you were wondering. You win some, you lose some. Okay. Had I, however, met Mr. Wright, I'm sure he would have been very impressed with my purple hoodie. My roommate's purple hoodie. Okay, really what I wanted to get to today regarding this weight loss process, this journey that I'm on, and this single step blog is I've been thinking just in my personal life lately, not just my relationship with food, but just in my relationship with the Lord and my life in general, I've been thinking a lot about, I think as a culture, as a people, as humans, I don't know how you want to word this, but I think we all struggle with this idea of, a lot of us are the type to push the envelope. We want to see how close we can get to that line without going over, we want to get away with as much as we can without actually being bad people, and I'm using very generic terms, but hopefully you see the point that I'm making. And so that's kind of been on my mind lately, and in fact, it's so weird how this works, but like when you think about stuff or you kind of dwell on it, then someone else will mention it, or like it'll come up in a song. Well, today the pastor talked about it at my church, and he basically was saying, instead of trying to push that envelope and see what you can get away with, make choices based on what do you think would be pleasing to the Lord. And it reminded me that I think somewhere in the Way Down material, Gwen talked about this once, as far as instead of seeing how much you can eat before you're politely full, instead of pushing that boundary, I don't know that she worded it this way, but see how little you can get away with. Do the opposite. Don't, because when you're doing that, basically, your focus is still on the food. And that was kind of the note that I made, was I'm not condoning like some kind of anorexia where I'm just going to eat, 2 little bites and that's it. I think you need to eat for it's the focus more. It's the purpose of your eating. And I've already said this, I'm sure, in many other ways in other videos, but I've just been reminding myself today that it's, why am I eating? Am I eating and am I trying to get as much as I can because I love this food? Because if so, that's the relationship that has to stop. My relationship with food does not need to be a love relationship. Other than I can love it in the way that God intended it. It tastes good. He made it for my health, for my body. My relationship with food really, though, needs to be, it is fuel so that I can then turn around and do the other things that I need to do in my life, that the Lord has planned in my life, that I can, attend to my ministries and to, the stuff that He has placed before me. But the love needs to be focused on Him and on His people, not on the food. And as I read today, actually, somewhere, and I've heard it before, that my focus needs to be on the Creator, not on the created. So anyway, that's just kind of where I am right now. I see that I've gone almost 9 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. But I will be back on Wednesday with a weigh-in, and this week is, since the weigh-in last week and kind of the mini depression, I've kind of turned things around, and I've been having some good days. So I'm looking forward to a good weigh-in on Wednesday, and I'll see you then. Bye.